For those of you who aren't familiar with the term playlist in the context of Ben 10, it's the term people use to categorise a set of 10 alien DNA samples that the Omnitrix uses. Today I'll be going over my hand-picked list of aliens I'd select for my own alien playlist. In an effort to create something interesting as well as reasonably balanced, I'm not going to be listing off the 10 strongest aliens or my personal favourites, but instead trying to create something reasonably balanced. Although in all honesty, this list pretty closely resembles my top 10 favourite aliens, but I just couldn't help myself. I've seen a few sets of templates or rules for creating your own playlist. These tend to keep things in line with the way different series approach selecting playlists of aliens, incorporating one alien for their strength, another for intelligence, a few with sort of hacks abilities, and an alien with flight, as well as some aliens with some form of elemental ability, and finally a powerhouse alien like Waybig or Alien X. As such, I'll be going over them in approximately that order, starting off with one of my all-time favourites, Armadillo. I feel as though I should come up with some new names for these transformations as if I were the one naming them in the first place, so saying that, I'll talk about them first and then give them a new name. Armadillo is an alien I have an especially soft spot for. He's just about as durable as they come. His strength isn't on the levels of aliens like Humongousaur or Forearms, but he's well above most alien species. Beyond that, he can walk through concrete with the same effort it takes us to walk through air. Otherwise, he can create enormous earthquakes as well as turn his hands into drills for all sorts of various purposes. Visually, he just stands out. I love that yellow, it pops so well. I just love his physicality. He feels so hefty, there's so much weight behind him, even more so than some of the other aliens on this list. If I were to give him his own name, I'd go for something like Magnitude after the Richter magnitude scale for measuring earthquakes. Moving on, we've got our intelligent alien of the bunch. This was a tricky decision for me. There's really 3 or so aliens in the Omnitrix that are more intelligent, but none of them have more versatility than the next alien on our list, Frankenstrike. I'm already sensing a theme of big strong guys with a bit of added versatility on this list. For those of you who weren't aware of just how intelligent this transformation is, in the classic series, Ben 10,000 uses Frankenstrike in part to create a duplicate of the Omnitrix for Ken's 10th birthday. I know he isn't the sole alien used, but I think it's pretty relevant that he played a role in it. Beyond that, he's just a great combatant. For as many issues that came up from Ben mistransforming into grey matter as his intelligent alien, imagine just how quickly some of those situations would have been resolved with Frankenstrike. I'm particularly thinking of the episode where he's kidnapped and kept in a jar. Imagine him trying to do that to Frankenstrike. So I'm losing out on more intelligence in exchange for strength, electromagnetism, telekinesis, as well as electrokinesis. As far as names go, Frankenstrike is pretty good, better than Frankenben. I honestly couldn't come up with anything that I think is better than Frankenstrike, but I do quite like Stein. Next up is our aliens with hacks abilities. I'll be going over these 3 a little bit quicker since I'm largely choosing them for one ability in particular. I also don't know that I'm pronouncing hacks right, so let's see how we go. Starting off with what I think is most likely my favourite alien in the series, Big Chill. It's hard to go past flight in the first place, not to mention his ice powers are a huge bonus, but the main reason I'm picking this is intangibility. His design alone could have landed him a spot in this list, but there's nothing much better than intangibility. I would have considered Ghost Freak for this role, plus you would have gotten the ability to possess people, but I just couldn't look past Big Chill. I'm just kicking myself for this naming idea, it's so much more difficult than I expected. Maybe something like Frostbite since he can eat through metal and whatnot. Not so proud of this one. Next up we've got one that visually contrasts with the rest of my picks on this list, Pesky Dust. One of the unsung heroes of Omniverse. I just love the look of this transformation, the colour palette is just fantastic, and the Sleep Dust ability is on another level. It's so effective that it works on species like Mechamorphs as well as most surprisingly Celestial Sapiens, meaning it'd be reasonable to assume that any species we've seen in the series, bar maybe Nalgians, should be able to be affected by it. Beyond that, as Pesky Dust, once putting people asleep, you can then enter their dreams and control them. Not only this, but you can do it on multiple people at once. Picture Pesky Dust knocking out 10 plus Celestial Sapiens and entering their dreams. This one would probably be the easiest to rename on this list, Dream Eater. I just really like the idea of this cute little alien with that very powerful ability, and Dream Eater being sort of a frightening name for such a cute little alien. Next up, another favourite, one of the most interesting hacks abilities, Upgrade. There's so many situations in the series where Upgrade would have been incredibly helpful. If you're not aware, Upgrade can merge, upgrade, and control machinery. I imagine it's probably beyond what the species is capable of, but if you could imagine Upgrade taking over the Nalgene Destructor, or even the Anilarg. Beyond that, I love his look, I love that he's sort of a liquid. Not much more to this one. As far as names go, I think the species name is cool enough, so I'll just be calling him Mechamorph. Next up, we've got our alien that I selected for that sort of flight category rule. But in saying that, I've already covered 2 aliens who can fly anyway. Vampire. He's an all-rounder, and thinking about it now, he probably should have been put in the Powerhouse pick. He's likely stronger than Armadillo, but the main reason I picked him beyond that is his mind control abilities. I'm starting to realise I'm covering all bases here with a few of these overlapping abilities. I'm really going for versatility and visual appeal more than anything. He's a transformation I've just adored from the moment he was introduced. I love the superhero meets a Noor aesthetic. My names are getting increasingly less intelligible, but I'm going to name this one Laszlo after one of the characters from What We Do in the Shadows. Moving on to our elemental transformations, of which I've got a sort of creative interpretation of elements, starting off with NRG. Yet another durable alien due to his containment suit, but like with Ben's NRG transformation, you've got the ability to get in and out of the suit as necessary. I love the radiation-based abilities here. He's yet another alien on this list that can fly. What makes me pick him over so many others is his ability to absorb energy and become larger and more powerful. Naming-wise, we'll go with radiation. Moving on, we've got what I'd consider the most easy pick for an elemental-based being Eye Guy. Again, another loose interpretation of the rules here. He's just kind of got all the elements going for him. He's got fire, ice, as well as energy beams. I think this is just objectively a great answer for the elemental alien category. That and I just adore how he looks, visually one of my favourites, even amongst this list. I'm thinking Optom for his name, being short for optometry. Next up we've got another one of my top 3 favourite aliens, and one whose elemental abilities is definitely a bit of a stretch, Blitzwolfer. I've spoken about this alien at length a number of times on this channel. He just looks so cool. Anything from Anor just gets bonus points from me. The origin of Ben unlocking him is great. His physicality and the way he moves around are super appealing. And his elemental ability, if you can even call it that, is sound. I'm definitely not going to argue that sound counts as an element, but I just wanted to have a reason to have him here. Naming wise, I quite like the name Howler. I think I saw that in the comment section of one of my videos. And finally, our Powerhouse Alien, we've got Feedback. Another great addition to Omniverse, he managed to have this new, fresh feeling of a newer alien while staying true to the design principles of the classic series ones. I love the energy absorption and redistribution, there's just not that much more to it. He's wildly powerful, scaling as high as you need him to as long as he has a large enough energy source. As far as names go, Output is really fun. I'm really realising I have a type of alien I enjoy. Generally they're kind of top-heavy guys with less human aesthetics. The top-heaviness having the exception of Big Chill, I tend to prefer the Alien Force version of that transformation. Other than that, I've got a real weakness for aliens with versatility. If you've got any opinions on my list, let me know, otherwise I'd love to hear what your playlist would look like. Thanks for watching.